Gen Out team members. And I actually had a somewhat different experience in high school. I went to a small all-boys school in DC, and I was actually out. I actually brought my boyfriend to my senior prom, and I had a lot of really awesome straight allies, friends. But I liked what Ryan said in terms of this really being a family. It's something that I hadn't found up until this point in terms of really finding brothers who I could just be with and make music with and share it for the rest of our community. And it didn't really sink in until I found the chorus and I joined it, because I'd always loved singing. So on that note, I actually wanted to turn it over to you guys to see if you had any questions for us.
How many of you came to my big fat gay wedding?
I wish I
Was it my church?
Anybody want to share your thoughts on that? What do you think of the show?
I loved it so much.
I know.
It was literally the best night of my life.
Anyone else?
None of them went.
I
I
went.
wanted to.
I thought it was really amazing because I've never been to a wedding personally, so for my first wedding to be a gay one, that really means a lot to me.
I wish.
Did you guys get to see the ring too?
Yes, yes. And I didn't know the wedding was going to
It's okay, I
happen.
got it. It's okay.
And I said to Justin Bank, I said, "Did you know the wedding was going to happen?" And he goes, "Yes, but I wanted to surprise you." And I said, "Boy, did you ever." That show, I really can't describe, I can't express how absolutely incredible it was. I cried, I was mesmerized, I was overjoyed. I'd never heard such wedding bells, and I've certainly been to my share of weddings in my lifetime, and it was absolutely beautiful. And the most beautiful part for me is the students that attended, and to say that it was the best day of their life when they're struggling with their orientation, and to have it validated in that forum, I mean, that's just off the charts. You can't ask for any more. And I know you don't doubt what you're doing is absolutely incredible for Gen Out, but it made all the difference, and for me to see that was just off the charts. So, but it was just incredible, and I can't wait for Zan to do it. So thank you very much.
That's the house.
Anyone else have any other questions, comments?
Speaking of big fat gay weddings, the first wedding I actually went to was my uncle's, plural, gay wedding in New York, and this was about probably a couple of months after they legalized gay marriage up there. And there's this one part during the after ceremony of the wedding, like everyone was having like food and drink and like hors d'oeuvres were being served, reception. I can't remember the names of it. But I walked up to my, who's now my uncle, and I walked up to him and said, "Uncle Norm, first of all, I've always wanted to call you that, because my uncle and Norm had been hanging out with each other, well, I was a little kid, so hanging out with each other for a long time, and I was always kind of like, oh, they spent a lot of time together." And then, like, as years went by, I kind of made the connection in my head that, oh, well, they're obviously gay. So, and the funniest thing, my parents took me into the living room one night to try to tell me this, like, some big revelation. I'm like, no, I knew they were gay for like a couple of years now. But, anyway, so it was wonderful. My first wedding was also a gay one, and I couldn't imagine any better uncles in the world.
Thank you for sharing that.
My name is Mark. I'm with the Gay Men's Chorus, and I want to say congratulations, and I applaud those of you with the Gay Straight Alliance to be here. It's really important, but it is equally important for the adults that I see here. It is so important that you are here to hear their voices, to hear ours, and I encourage you to please share this with others that are not here, especially in the adult world, to really let them in to be able to learn and to understand about about the situations of gay life. It's very, very important. So I just wanted to say I congratulate all of you too that are here. Thank you. We congratulate you.
There are about 300 members in the Gay Men's Chorus of Washington, and we actually have yet to have a concert where all 300 are on stage at one time, and I look forward to that day. We have to find a venue first for that, where we can fit them all. But everyone joins for a different reason. There's some people such as JR who's been out since you were in high school. There's other people who leave a marriage to a woman at the age of 55, and their family disowns them, and they choose to come to the chorus. They're singers, they want to find a new community, and they do. And then time goes by, and eventually their family comes around, and next thing we know, they're out in the audience. So we are a musical organization, but as I said before, what we're doing today is a really important part of what we do, and we want to be able to demonstrate to you, as I said before, empower you, demonstrate that, look at all these out and very proud. I'll tell you right now, these men are very proud. So do you have any questions for us, not just about the music and about the shows you've seen or you're going to see, just about anyone else's journeys, any generic questions, or that's a tough one. While you're pondering that, our next musical we're doing is called Xanadu, and that is on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of this month. And students, you are invited to come free as our guests, as we did for My Big Fat Gay Wedding, and you can talk with Ms. Grady about that as far as setting up the tickets for you. If you are not a student, you are welcome to join us, and you'll see in the program you have, there's information about obtaining tickets and getting a $5 off coupon for your tickets if you are not a student at the school. I have to point out, though, that in the program it says the code for that to go online is Gen Out. And actually the code has been changed. Long story, but this is actually an exercise in are you really listening to me right now? If you want $5 off your ticket, the new code name word is alive. So I'll say it again before we go tonight. So we brought tonight, there's two more things part of tonight we want to do, and we'll do a little more discussion real quick, but in the full chorus we have two smaller ensembles that we call our outreach ensembles. To do things like this, but I decided to tap the whole chorus, so it's not just the smaller ensemble that's here tonight, but the group is called the Rock Creek Singers. We also have another group called Potomac Fever. Tonight we have Rock Creek Singers is here, and so we're going to have them sing a few songs for you tonight. So that's kind of more of the more concerty part of the evening, if you will. And then we're going to do a group sing, where we're going to teach you a song, and we're going to end up singing that together to finish off the night. So I'm going to pass the microphone back to, actually, Eric, where are you? May I pass the microphone to you? And I'd love you to say a couple words, in fact, about what you do with your work, and we'll go from there.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eric Peterson. I've been a part of the Gay Men's Chorus since about 2009. When I first showed up at orientation, our VP of membership got up on stage and said, "Welcome to your new family." And I thought, oh my God, I've joined a cult. And yet they kind of became my new family. He was right. There is such a thing as family of choice, as well as the family that you were born into. Thea wanted me to talk a little bit about what I do for a living. When I came out of the closet, I was 25. I was not out in high school. I lived in a deep cloud of denial all the way through high school, which probably made high school a lot more fun for me. At the time, I graduated high school in 1988. My God, you weren't even born yet. I know, right? But when I came out, I was, I'm white, I'm a man, I'm able-bodied. There's a lot of things in my life that give me a leg up. Being gay, suddenly I was on the other side of that for the first time, and so I started to kind of study what that was and what that was all about, and I discovered this whole field out there called diversity and inclusion. So now I work at the Society for Human Resource Management. We're an association for HR professionals, and I manage their diversity program. So basically my job is teaching other HR people how to set up workplaces that are kind and fair and inclusive to gay and lesbian people, but also people of color, people with disabilities, veterans of the armed forces, people of different religious backgrounds, women, and any group that feels sometimes that they are marginalized or somehow treated as other than what is generally accepted, or someone who looks like a leader. There's some interesting things you learn in my line of work, one of which is less than 15% of American men are over the age of 6'3", but 60% of American CEOs are over 6'3". And does that mean that tall people are just generally better leaders? I'm not sure what having your head farther away from the ground does to make you so much smarter, but what it is, clearly, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of, you kind of figure it out. We look up to them, right? So they look like a leader, and then suddenly we start treating them like a leader, and when they show up at the age of 22 and they're 6'3", we think, oh, they're gonna lead this company someday. And it's because what we see is oftentimes misleading. And through no fault of our own, with the best intentions, sometimes we treat people other than the wonderful, fantastic, fabulous, amazing people that they are, because what we see and what the little bits that we know about them get in the way. So there's some really important work being done out there by a lot of individuals, as well as groups like the Gay Men's Chorus of Washington who do things like this. And I just want to throw out there again, come to our shows for free. Hang out in the lobby, because my favorite thing in the world is to meet a group of high school kids after a show and have them tell me about their lives and tell me about what they thought about the show, and really connect with folks in that way. All of us are really committed to this particular cause of advancing gay equality, whether it happens to be within the confines of the District of Columbia or coming out to places like this. So thank you so much for having us again.
So we're gonna, could we have Rock Creek on stage, and then non-Rock Creekers go to find a place in the audience, and
That was the Gay Men's Choir with Lee. Say hi.
So the music the Gay Men's Chorus of Washington sings was the gamut. A couple years ago, we did a holiday show